Listen, basis loaded bottom of the ninth. I want to make this video for all young men out there that you're not going through my mentorship program, but you create content, you want to do YouTube, and I also suggest that you guys do Twitch as well. And I want you guys to win. So here is the lineup. I feel guys should really do YouTube first, then go to Twitch, and then go to TikTok, and then go to Kick. That's how I think. If you really wanted to start really, changing things for yourself. And like I said, my channel is to help men be in a position where if a baby randomly pops up, even if it was on accident, we could still take care of the hit and run collision. I'm just being 100% honest because 9 out of 10 people that had babies that were not married. So at the end of the day, we're going to view that as a hit and run collision. But at the end of the day, guess what? We had roadside coverage as well. You know why? Because we were taking care of everything before our future kids come. Forget all this division. In this world, they want to divide men, they want to divide women, and they don't want us to procreate. I don't care what anybody says. I feel every man was sent on this earth to procreate. Listen, my mentor, shout out to my mentor, and I'm sure this story with everybody, but my mentor, I met him, he was 60 years old at the time. Shout out to his son, but his son invited me to his father, one of many mansions. And, he sat down with me, gave me his blessings. I'm not going to tell everybody what the blessing was until I actually get it, like I said. But with that being said, he had a baby with the Carolina Panthers cheerleader at 60. People could talk, they could say whatever, but at the end of the day, as a man, when you live your life and you don't worry about what people have to say, you could procreate at 60. The videos that I make videos from things that I, discovered through life. We're all going to discover different things throughout life. And I share things that I witnessed, what I discovered. And I discovered a 60-year-old multimillionaire with his own private jet was able to procreate at the age of 60 with a, 30-year-old Carolina Panthers cheerleader that's stunning, gorgeous. It is what it is. So with that being said, you never know when a baby's gonna pop up. That's why I'm sharing this story with you. A baby could pop up even in your 60s. Now, luckily for him, luckily for the baby's already in the will. The baby's set for life. But with that being said, my mentor had a baby and he wasn't married. So 9 out of 10, it probably was just a hit and run collision. It happens. Especially as a man, I don't care what anybody said. There's something called aging, and there's something called aging with wealth. If you take care of yourself and you're a wealthy man, as long as you're alive, women are going to be in your face. My mentor, he had this 7 Series, I think it was a 760, multiple cars outside the mansion. He also has a beach home, closer to Wilmington, North Carolina. I forgot the exact name from the top of the head, but he has a beach house that's a couple million. And he also bought a mansion in Palm Springs, California. So me being 29, having the ability to meet this man and see this man procreate even while he's in his 60s, I'm sharing this with you guys because even in your 60s, a baby could pop up. And I felt every step of the way, when babies pop up, we bring these newborn babies into beautiful environments. And I'm gonna say this again. If babies do decide to drop from the sky, after we dropped off a load, this is life, this is how it goes. They're not gonna teach you this in high school. They're not gonna teach you this in college, but life is simple. After you drop off a load, a baby drops from the sky, drop from the heaven. That's just how the game works. You drop off a load, the baby drops from the heaven. And when the baby drops from the heaven, we don't want to bring the baby into a street on 42nd and St. Nick when people are selling nicks. Absolutely not. So every step of the way, if a baby ever drops from the heaven, they will drop into a nice neighborhood, a peaceful and calm environment, and live a beautiful life. Before we go any further, I just want to say that I lived a beautiful life thanks to my dad. And I want to tell you guys, when it comes to creating content, this is the best part of the video. Don't worry about what your parents think, mother or father, because what happens is YouTube now gave people the opportunity to live like my mentor and have a private jet. YouTubers, if they want to get a private jet, they can get a private jet. We don't need to beef on YouTube. As content creators, we don't need to beef. We can agree to disagree, but we don't need to beef. It's enough beef to the point we don't have to beef. Follow the wordplay. And I'm gonna say this again. As YouTubers, we don't have to beef. It's enough beef for us not to beef. Let it breathe. But when it comes to content and you're starting to earn 20, 30,000 a month, your parents are not going to be able to comprehend that. So do not share, unless your mother wants to start a channel, then you can show your mom how to do your thing. But if your parents come to you like son, or if they come to you like daughter, show me how you do that YouTube thing. You got some parents like that. And shout out to those parents that's like, I don't care how old I am, I'm still gonna, capitalize off this generation. Shout out to this generation. And I showed them my other channel, but I saw a lady on TikTok. She was 80 years old, gift after gift, rolls after rolls, getting it. And she was in the 80s. Her name is Grandma Willie. Go check her channel out. And with that being said, Grandma Willie is not like your parents. Grandma Willie might have a mindset, I'm going to cash out on this generation in my 80s. Grandma Willie be cooking food from scratch. Everybody loves Grandma Willie. So even at the age of 80, like Grandma Willie's probably going to be a multimillionaire in a couple years. Grandma Willie's going to be 80 years old, probably pulling up in an all pink Rolls Royce Cullinan at the end of the day at 80. But you guys have to understand, everybody's not going to have an optimistic mindset. A lot of people are stuck in society, and your parents might be stuck in society. So when you do social media, you can't tell your dad what's really going on, because your dad is your dad. And if he never lived that life, I hate to tell you, but this is where the video is going to get real. Even though I don't want to tell you this, I have to tell you this. Sometimes your parents are in competition with you. We live in a very competitive world, and you have to shut that thought down. Never compete with your parents. Your parents, they live your life. Now is your time to live yours. And I'm gonna say this again. Your dad already lived his life. Now it's time for you to live life and figure things out. You are not a baby. You are not 6 years old. So with that being said, if you are starting to make 20 to 30,000, never tell your dad that. Do not tell your dad, because what's gonna happen is he is not accustomed to numbers like that. See, I got to make this type of content because I don't want you guys feeling like, Dad, I made it. I made 50K last month. That's going to end the relationship between you and your dad. So if you love your parents and you want to do social media, do not tell your parents how much you're earning unless you have an optimistic parent. And my mother is optimistic. My mother is about to drop a YouTube channel. But with that being said, my dad is not like my mother. They're two separate individuals. And when it's all said and done, my dad, he's old school, British mentality. So with that being said, I cannot tell my dad anything about social media. And I want to share this with you guys because my dad, I would just say hi and bye. But at the end of the day, when we move in prestigious neighborhoods, I can't even give my dad an invite because his mind can't fathom, wow, you could live in Aspen, Colorado. He can't fathom that. And the fact that he can't fathom that, I don't want to show him that. Understand your audience. And for everybody that want to do it big, you got to understand the majority of people, they just like comfort, So if you are a type of person and you want to just think outside the box and do it big, you got to respect people and their comfort. And we make them lose comfort when we come with unreal numbers, 50K in a month. People that grew up in the 70s and 60s, they can't understand people that are not, scholars with 5 degrees making, or with a CEO job making 50K a month. They can't understand that. So I'm here to tell you guys, do not stress your parents out. Do not tell your parents about big money that you're making. Do not tell them any figures over $20. Do not do that. Do not compete with your dad. Do not compete with your parents. Do not compete with family members. When you guys start to hit 20K a month, and all my clients that I work with will do this. This is why I'm making this video now before this happens. Listen, I feel like as a content creator, I feel like a news reporter. I got to give you guys some breaking news before the abundance come. Before the abundance come, and just remember this: when it hits, I don't care if you made 100K on YouTube in a month. Never tell your dad that. You can take your dad to Disney World. If he's like, son, how much you making? Don't tell him. Don't tell him. If you don't have an optimistic mom that want to start a channel, she like, son, how much did you make last month on YouTube? Don't tell him. Don't tell him. And I'm doing you guys a solid favor by saying, don't tell him any number past 20. Because when you start going into 20K a month, 25K a month, now you're talking about making 300,000 just by fishing. You're making 300,000 just by playing video games. Older people, not only can they not fathom that didn't grow up in this generation, that don't want to, make content, they don't want to believe it. So at the end of the day, we don't need people to be confused. I feel real men out here, we want people to be at peace. And content creators, we make unreal money that makes people lose their peace. So the best thing that we could do as YouTubers is be low key. Low key is the biggest flex. And I'm gonna say that again. The biggest low key flex is to not let people know that you do YouTube in a community, family members, friends. At the end of the day, if they see you, they see you. If not, oh well, let it breathe.